Hello everyone, and welcome back to DMG. Last video I made with this little Fujitsu hard drive here, I first blasted it with a heat gun, then disassembled it, ran it open for several minutes, and then blasted it with the heat gun again before running it open even more. So needless to say, this drive has proven that it can withstand conditions far out of spec for any hard drive on the market. So that makes it a perfect contender for taking the metal lid off and replacing it with a plastic lid. It's been a little while since I've done this. The first clear lid drive I made was a laptop hard drive, and they're actually a little better for clear hard drives because airflow and vibration are a lot less of a concern than on a desktop drive, because of course a plastic lid is not very rigid. But I'm not just going to be building a clear hard drive, I'm going to be taking it a step further. Ever since I built my first clear hard drive, like 4 years ago, people have been asking, why can't you build an RGB hard drive? And you've asked for it, and that's exactly what I will be doing. Now this right here is probably one of my favorite little things on the market. This looks like just one LED, and yes, it is tiny. Yet this can produce the same lighting effects as like a full RGB circuit. Now this tiny LED actually has multiple diodes inside of it. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it has multiple little colored diodes in here and a chip that's programmed to provide different amounts of power to each dynamically, so it cycles through different colors. And it also has a capacitor inside the bulb to even out the voltage and, keep it constantly lit. So this is, these are actually pretty expensive. These are like $1 each, but if you're a hobbyist and you want to put a good amount of like RGB light in a tiny space, this is your best solution. Now what I've done here is I've unplugged the case's hard disk drive indicator LED, and I've replaced it with a wire that goes to this bulb. And I've also put a pretty big capacitor across the hard drive indicator LED leads on the board. So hopefully that should give us this constantly lighting when there's any hard drive activity at all. So let me power on the system, and while it's initializing drives, you should see it light up. Oh, that was very rapid. So we can see it starts out red, then it changes to green, and it's gradually switching. It should go blue soon, yeah. And then it's more of a purple. So yeah, I think this should look absolutely fantastic inside the hard drive. Let's go and build that drive right now. If you know what you're doing, these are very easy to build, and I definitely know what I'm doing. I've built like 3 or 4 of these by now. So really all you need is the hard drive and something clear. Now this is a little package that I think it was like a little USB flash drive came in. Now I'll cut this to size of the drive, and I'm going to go get some scissors and do that right now. Now this time I think I might take a slightly different approach. In the past I've covered the entire top of the drive with plastic. I think what I might do here is I will cut out of the metal lid a section over the platters, like the, what were they called? WD Raptor, like those old WD drives that shipped with a clear lid. So I think what that'll do is that'll provide still the rigidity of the metal lid, but also, the clear part of the clear drive. And if I put the LED down here, that'll also allow the light to diffuse some more instead of it being direct lighting. And diffused lighting reflected over the platters is going to look a crap ton better than just seeing the LED in there. So I think that is what I'm going to do. But that means I have to remove the drive lid and have it off for a little while. Okay, I don't know about you, but I think this looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, this is the best looking drive I've built even without the light, which, by the way, is right there. The light does make it so that I can't close the lid all the way, so it's not flat. But that doesn't matter because now we have a light. You know, even though the screw is not going to screw in, I'm just going to put it through the tape so that it looks like there's one there. That'll look a lot more even. And then I'll kind of pull back that tape so you can see that screw. So yeah, that looks good. Let's plug it in. Okay, time to test this thing out. I've turned off most of my studio lights so that we can really get like the maximum visibility of the drive's little light. Oh, and there it goes. It's on, it's working. I can hear the drive. There it is, it's moving on to the platters. There we go. Now it should be reading firmware. Okay. I'll cut it, power it back on. I think once I fire up a benchmark, the light will be a lot more solid, and we'll be able to see it a lot better. Oh yeah, it's booting into XP, and we can see the light coming on and turning off as the read activity changes. So that is working just the way I wanted it to. Now once I fire up a benchmark, it should start to change color. Here goes nothing. Okay, our lights come on. Now it's orange, green. Okay, so the light in the drive actually does work. So that's really cool. I like the drive RGB. That's probably my favorite thing that I've ever done on this channel. The drive RGB. And yeah, it's just a shame you can't actually see the head movement all that well. Now I would assume this drive is just tripping over some bad sectors or some dust or something, because these clear drives don't last all that long. So that's why it's not consistently performing well in the benchmark. And then if I stop the benchmark, it should also stop. That's fantastic. I love that so much. And then powering off the system, we can see it start to flash red. This is actually a really cool concept for the hard drive indicator because it shows you kind of how long your hard drive's been on for. Now, because the platters of a hard drive are so reflective, it's actually harder to see because it's reflecting more ambient light than the actual LED, but in a darker room it would be quite visible. And with that, that is where I end today's video. I'm very happy that I was actually able to build a good-looking clear drive, well, kind of good-looking, and put the LED in there. That's something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed. As always, tons of other hard drive content on the channel if you like this stuff. But that's it for this one. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you next time.